just kind of went on.
Yes,
But I know.
greetings. Thanks for letting me on. What I found
I guess we're gonna stay
interesting,
here.
yeah, what I found interesting, I think I was looking at one of your posts, and it's about the Akampong Maroons. Um,
Ah, yes, yes. I'm
wow, I
glad you
mean,
raised this. Go ahead, go ahead.
oh my
I'm glad you
God.
raised this. Go ahead,
So let me
go
see if
ahead,
I
go ahead.
understand it. So I understand from what your post is that the Akampong
Yes, yes.
Maroons are concerned about Jamaica becoming a republic because
Hmm.
then they'll lose. There's a chance they might lose their sovereign status because that sovereign status has been granted by the British government. And is that what's going on there?
I don't want to. I want to. I don't want to say yes to what you're saying, only because I haven't heard that in so many words. Yeah, and
Right,
I need to look into the specifics of the issue a bit more. Does that make sense? It does
right, right,
appear
right.
to be the case. I will say that that
Oh, it
appears to
does
be the case.
appear. All right, so that's what
What
it
was
looks
said
like
to
to
me?
me. So
Right.
you saw the same
Hold-
kind of thing.
yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Okay,
That's what it looked like to me.
but we
Yeah.
don't know.
Now, what I will say is we don't know for certain, but that's what it
Right.
looks like. Yeah. So what I mean
Now
by
I
that
know
is
what
I
it
haven't
looks
heard
like, but
anybody
what it
make.
is, I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Right. And I'm saying so. What I'm saying is I haven't heard anybody make that argument in so many words, but I've heard arguments that would suggest that that is the case. If that makes sense, right?
Okay, okay,
Now,
right.
beside, but that is besides the point for me. Yeah. Not now.
Okay.
Stella, I'm bringing you through now. Yeah. Greetings, not nice, Stella B. Yeah. Let me just respond to IC3 and then we're gonna come through, right? What okay, so let me just say, let me just explain to brothers and sisters what IC3 saw from me that I shared. Chief Curry, yeah, is the chief of the Akongpong Maroons. Yeah, he's become very popular in the last couple years. He became chief in 2021, I believe. Yeah. And he's had a number of different issues with the Jamaican government and others. There's issues among Maroons and so on and so forth. Yeah. And what the brother, and he posted today a video from another brother who's from the Windward Maroons, who is from another part of Jamaica. Yes. Um, Concerning issues to do with the Jamaican government and encroaching upon the rights of the Maroons in Jamaica as a sovereign people. Yeah. I challenged what the brother said because in the caption, Chief Curry said that he shared the video from the other brother. Yeah. Alex Moore. Yeah. Is his name. And in the caption, Chief Curry said, we should decolonization is all good. Words to that effect. But Jamaica cannot decolonize whilst colonizing the Maroons. So I said, well, it's a contradiction to talk about decolonization whilst affirming Maroon nationhood on the basis of a treaty that was signed with the colonizer. There is no decolonization in that process, right? You understand what I said, yeah? And I half feel to bring up the post and play the video, yeah, and I may do that, yeah. But my point is this, yeah, that every year there are Maroon communities, and not all Maroons agree with this. And let me make that clear, yeah. But the treaty, the 1738 treaty with the British is celebrated in a Kongpong in Jamaica, Maroon village in Jamaica, Maroon town in Jamaica. And that treaty, as is put forward, is the basis for the sovereignty of the Maroons, because the Maroons fought the British for about 100 years, yeah, and the British couldn't beat the Maroons. And I am a Maroon descendant. Let me make that very clear. Yeah. All right.
Talking blood
You know what I'm
now.
saying? Yeah.
Maroon blood.
I. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And this is not questionable. Yeah. I am a Maroon descendant. Yeah. And the British couldn't defeat the Maroons. But what happened was that a treaty was drawn up. Yeah. To end the war, and as a there are clauses in the treaty, yeah, first of all, that established the Maroons have a right to the land, yes, and so on and so forth. That's all well and good. There are also clauses in the treaty that seek to weaponize the Maroons against other Africans on the island of Jamaica.
That's right.
I.e., where other Africans rebel, other Africans who were enslaved rebel, it is the responsibility of the Maroons, based
Send them back.
upon the signing of this treaty, to come to the aid of the British in quelling the rebellion, returning any runaways to the plantation, and so on and so forth.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, there are all kinds of debates about the extent to which the Maroons agreed to these clauses, and if their agreement was ever enacted by the Maroons themselves. I'm not going to get into that today, like in terms of the history of it. What I am simply saying is, today, yeah, this treaty and any allegiances to the British have to be negated and rejected if we are decolonizing. That's all I'm saying. You cannot decolonize whilst pledging allegiance to the British monarchy. The British monarchy is the preeminent colonial institution.
Right. Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay,
You follow
but
me?
if they are saying that they're a sovereign entity that has been recognized by the British government, then they're not pledging allegiance.
No, here I understand what I'm saying. They represent. If you listen to the video that the brother left, he speaks about the fact that he makes some statements that I think are historically factually wrong. But he also speaks about the fact that the Maroons had friendly and cordial relationship with the British.
Oh dear.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Oh dear.
Right. Now he does say that the British unfortunately engaged in the unjust trade and so on and so forth. Right. My point is, Britain is a colonizer nation. The Maroons in Jamaica were no less colonized than the rest of the island. The idea that they were operating as they weren't. Everybody on the island was colonized, especially post-slavery. Yeah. Right. So after 1838, yeah, the British never said, yeah, we're going to colonize everywhere except for the Maroon settlements. That's not how it went. The whole entire island was colonized. Right. So the idea now, even
wait a minute, the Maroons would see that as an insult. How dare you say that? They said that we're sovereign, we're free.
But this is the point I'm trying to make. But today, the 1738 treaty is being presented to the Jamaican government as evidence of the sovereignty of the Maroons. What I am saying is, if the Maroons are sovereign, recognition and allegiance to the British state should not be the basis upon which Maroon sovereignty is established.
Right, okay.
Yeah? Who cares what the British say? If we are sovereign, we are sovereign.
Right. So
Jean-Jacques Dessalines will say.
Okay. So does the United Nations recognize the Maroons as a sovereign?
The United Nations, yes, has gone through the process of recognizing what they call indigenous groups. And I believe that they recognize the Maroons, not just in Jamaica, but all throughout the Americas as an indigenous group. Yeah? You follow me?
Okay.
But again, the United Nations is a neo-colonial institution.
I know. Right. I know. It's a mess.
Now, that is not to say, yeah, that within the context of the world order, there are not strategic things that we should do,
right,
in relation to the United Nations. That's strategy, right? Yeah. But the United Nations is not the arbiter of our sovereignty. It cannot be that.
Okay.
And if we in debate with each other are using the British monarchy and the United Nations to win the argument, something wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
you following me? Right? So I'm saying
Yeah.
so now you cannot tell me now that my sovereignty as an African is impeding on your sovereignty because of your relationship with the British government. That now go on. You see what I'm saying? If I'm going to war in the name of liberation with the British government and you're vexed about that, something wrong there, sir. Yeah. So I'm saying the Jamaican government is a neo-colonial institution. Yeah. And so even unless there is a significant revolution of mind and social order and consciousness and all kind of different thing, the Jamaican government is likely to remain a neo-colonial institution, even if Jamaica becomes a republic. I am not saying what I'm saying in defense of the Jamaican government. What I am saying is that if we are going to affirm Maroon sovereignty based upon the Maroons' relationship with the British government, then the Maroon sovereignty is no less neo-colonial than the Jamaican independence.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
That's the point I'm making.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, we have to be clear about these things. There can be no allegiance to the colonizer. I don't care where it comes from. Me love the Maroon history, most of it. And I don't just mean in Jamaica, I mean all about the place. I am proud of the Maroon blood that runs through my veins. Yeah, but principle is principle.
Right.
And first and foremost, I am an African. And Maroons, some of the Maroons now are trying to make Maroonage a separate and distinct group from the rest of the African people. Them. So in the video, the bridge made the point that the First Nation people should not be confused with the enslaved Africans on the island, as though the Maroons
I heard that.
As though the Maroons are not made up of enslaved Africans.
Yeah, I heard that.
Africans
I thought what's going on?
Me want to know a war go on Rasta. Yeah, a whole heap of different thing are go on around here. Yeah, it's so anyway. Yeah, a whole heap of different thing are go on around here. Yeah, the Maroons are made up of the same groups of Africans that the rest of that dominate the rest of the island, that populate the rest of the island. Yeah. Now, that is not to say that there is not. I'm willing to bet that most Jamaicans have Maroon ancestry. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I don't know any studies. Yeah, that bear this to be the case, but it's relatively it's reasonable to suggest that a significant number, at least, of Jamaicans, even those who are not living among the Maroon settlements and so on and so forth, have come from Maroon ancestors. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm talking about people that were born or lived in Maroon settlements, or because not everybody that is a Maroon lives in a Maroon town.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. That's and that is a significant. But the point I was going to make is that doesn't mean that we shouldn't recognize the particularities of the Maroon towns, yeah, and the specific culture as it evolved and developed among. I'm going to bring you through Setem Imhotep, yeah, now, yeah. As it evolved among our Maroon ancestors.
Yeah.
All things being correct, I see free. I am saying that the Maroon foundation should be the foundation upon which Jamaica establishes itself as a republic. Because among the so-called Maroons is preserved the most authentic social order of the people of Jamaica.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's both of the African peoples of Jamaica and of the indigenous Taino people. Does that make sense?
Yes,
yeah,
that's right.
So the Maroons should be the primary example that we use to develop, a true sovereign nation.
Yes,
but we can't do that. You know why? Because every time we talk to the Maroon, them I tell you about 1738 British monarchy, and all them blow out there. Yeah, it can't go on.
Oh man.
Yeah, it not for go on them way there. Yeah, I see. I'm gonna come back to you because I want to bring in Nat Celebi and Setem Imhotep, who has graced us with his handsome face. This evening, Kings and Queens. You know what I mean? So we give we give thanks. Yeah, Nat, got you, King.